In Second Life, we have this lovely little thing called freedom. It's everywhere. Floating in skyboxes, stitched into avatars, and baked into those 3 a.m. impulse buys we swear were absolutely necessary. You can build a castle, open a shop, start a cult. Nobody's stopping you. And that's the beauty of it. Until it's not. Because when you hand out keys to the kingdom, some people build kingdoms. And others set fire to the furniture, then charge you rent to sit in the ashes. See, there's no real rule book here. Just a terms of service that mostly protects the ones who own the kingdom, not the villagers trying to survive in it. So people act like anything goes. And most of the time it does. Not because we're okay with it, but because we're quiet, tired, too used to the nonsense to bother asking, why? Is that even fair? Out there, in the real world, half this stuff would spark lawsuits or front-page scandals. In here, it's just another Tuesday. But let me ask you this. When shady business becomes normal and silence becomes standard, at what point do we stop calling it freedom and start calling it what it really is? Exploitation, dressed up in a prettier font. Welcome to what will probably be my most loved and most demo charger ruffling video series yet. Most creators? Amazing. Some? About to be a little less thrilled with me. Let's take bets. How many bans will I rack up before episode 3? Closest guess wins. Absolutely nothing. Except maybe a refund on your one Linden demo. Too soon? We're just getting warmed up. This was supposed to be a 3-part series. But like any messy group chat with receipts, I suspect more tea will be sliding into my DMs before we're done. So we'll call it currently 3 parts, but potentially a saga. Why am I doing this? Because if there's no real policy, no protections, no rule book for what's fair, then I'll be here. With a metaphorical megaphone, a pocket full of red flags, and zero chill. Calling out the shady business tactics some people really hoped you'd never notice. And today, we're starting small, one Linden small. Now, before we dive into the drama, let's explain demos. Because if you're not familiar with how Second Life works, this might all sound a bit petty. See, in Second Life, there's no refund policy. None. Once you buy something, that's it. Final sale. And honestly, that makes sense. It's a virtual world. Once you've got the item, you've got it. No returns, no exchanges. It's not like a video game where the company can revoke access or shut down your account. In Second Life, once that item is in your inventory, it's usually yours for good. I say usually because yes, some creators have figured out how to make things stop working after purchase. Which, let's just say, opens up a whole other can of shady. Probably its own future chapter in this growing saga of what the actual hell is going on here. But for the most part, once you've bought something in Second Life, you're stuck with it, which is exactly why demos matter. So what do we have instead of refunds? Demos. The necessary evil. They let you try before you buy. Test the fit. See how that chair sits. Do a little catwalk strut in front of your camera like it's Second Life Fashion Week. That's how we survive in this world of no backsies. And every store should have one. An actual demo. Not a display ad with a pose stand. Not a buy it to see it setup. A demo that you wear, or sit on, or click, or interact with. Yes, I'm looking directly at you, whoever you are, with the glorified billboard and no sample. Because if we don't get refunds, we should at least be able to virtually touch that chair or try on that dress like a digital dressing room. And, ideally, without a 60-second self-destruct timer that kicks you out mid-booty shake. But then, some creators took it a step further. They started charging for demos. And that's where the real problem begins. And before anyone starts clutching their pearls and typing, actually, some stores do refund demos. Yes, some do. Some. But others don't. And that is the problem. Because one linden sounds small, right? So small we barely blink. It's the psychological equivalent of a digital coin toss. Who cares? But here's the thing. We've been conditioned not to care, to assume we'll get that one linden back, to think it's just temporary. But in reality, a lot of the time, we don't get it back. Let me paint you a picture. I went to a shopping event and spent 10 lindens on demos. Then I swung by Dubai event and another 5 lindens gone in demos. And guess what? No refunds. Sure, that's just 15 lindens. Big deal, right? But I only hit 2 events. Have you seen the event calendar lately? Multiply that by 10 events, and suddenly we're talking 150 lindens in demo fees. That's not pocket change. That's half a damn dress or 1 shoe. And most of us, we're on a budget. Because linden dollars are not falling from the sky. They come from our real wallets, uploaded with real money, plus those super fun fees and currency exchange rates that make us cry at checkout. So, yes, if I can avoid wasting 150 lindens on items I didn't even get to keep, you're damn right I will. And now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about what happens when creators start treating demos as a side hustle. Because once profit creeps into the demo pile, what we're looking at is no longer a try before you buy system. It's a demo tax. And that is where things start to stink. See, this isn't just about one lindens, it's about the shift in mindset. Because when creators start seeing demos as just another revenue stream, instead of what they're meant to be, a courtesy, we're not talking about quality control anymore. We're talking about profit over principle, the kind of thinking that says, hey, why not charge for the preview too? They won't complain, it's only a linden. And the thing is, they're right. Most people don't complain because they don't want drama, or they're worried about being blacklisted, or they've just accepted it as the way it is. Until they cross my path. Because I'm not here to accept it. If I see it, I'll talk about it. Loudly, clearly, and with receipts. I'm here to ask the question we should be asking. When did this become okay? When did trying something on become another way to nickel and dime the customer? And if creators can't even reply to a polite note card about a policy they chose to implement, what does that say about their respect for the people keeping their businesses afloat? It says, we don't owe you anything. And maybe they don't. But I'm not going to stay quiet about it either. Because if no one calls it out, they'll just keep doing it. And then everyone will start doing it. And before you know it, we're all paying demo tax like it's normal. Well, it's not normal. It's lazy. It's greedy. And it's insulting. Especially in a world built on community, trust, and the illusion that we're all here for the same reason. To create something better. So let's play devil's advocate for a second. Why would a creator charge for a demo? Well, someone might argue, events cost money. They've got to pay for their booth. Sure, but let's be clear. Nobody's forcing you to be in an event. That's a business choice. Plenty of creators skip events entirely and keep the fee in their own pockets. And I respect that. It's a choice, a strategy, a budget call. But if you do choose to be in an event, don't push the cost of your marketing onto your customers. That's not business, that's a cop-out. Events do give you exposure, especially when you're new. And for new brands trying to get noticed, Yeah, they're a great stepping stone. But here's what I've been noticing lately. A lot of the demo charges, they're not coming from the big-name veterans. They're coming from new brands, new creators just arriving on the scene, already deciding that demo fees are part of the plan. And that should make you pause. Because in Second Life, everything is copy-paste culture. Trends spread like wildfire. And if charging for demos becomes the norm for new creators, we're all in trouble. We've already seen it with fashion pricing. We've seen it with hair. If this pay-to-preview trend catches on, we'll be looking at demo fees the same way we look at overpriced fat packs, annoying, exploitative, and somehow everywhere. And that's not just annoying. That's how you break trust before you've even built it. Let's be real for a second. A demo is part of your marketing strategy. If you're a creator and you're not offering one, you're not just making my life harder, you're missing out on my money. I can't count the number of times I've skipped buying something because there was no demo. Actually, true story. I was at Anthology. Saw this cute necklace. Display looked great, but no demo. And I wasn't about to guess how it would look on me based on a static display and wishful thinking. So I passed. Now take Isoral. No demo? Doesn't matter. I've been buying from them for years. I know the quality. What I see is what I get. There's trust. There's consistency. But if I don't know you, if your brand's new to me, you bet I want to see how that necklace sits on my avatar, not your mannequin. Because every time I've taken a chance and bought something without a demo, I've ended up disappointed about 80% of the time. That's not me being picky. That's me trying to avoid wasting money. So if you're skipping demos or hiding them behind a price tag, you're not just being shady, you're actively sabotaging your own sales. At this point, let's just say it plain. They're doing it for the money. There's no legitimate reason to charge for a demo. None. You can't blame it on the vendor system because if other creators manage to refund demos automatically, so can you. And if it was an honest mistake, I would have heard back by now. A quick, oops, sorry. But nope. Silence. So what does that tell me? That it's not an accident. It's intentional, greedy, lazy little money grabs. Pure and simple. Take Coco Louis at Skin Fair. They had 4 demos. 4. Pandora at Anthology. 2 demos. 1 for the top, 1 for the bottom. Why? Because apparently bundling them together for free like every other decent creator was just too much effort. So instead we get nickeled and dimed for 2 lindens just to try on 1 outfit. Sure, maybe they're new creators. Maybe they don't get thousands of demo clicks. But events last almost a month. Many creators participate in multiple events at once. Even with just 1,000 demos per event, that's 1,000 lindens per listing. Coco Louis could have pulled in 4,000 lindens just from demo fees at Skin Fair alone. That's not marketing. That's monetizing your customers' trust. In real life, businesses pay for their own advertising. That's the cost of doing business. Sometimes you walk past a shop and they're giving out free food or drinks as samples. That's normal. That's smart marketing. Now imagine if they charged you 50 cents to sip the orange juice. Exactly. We'd riot. So why is it okay here? To me, charging for a demo is more than just tacky. It's a disgrace. An insult to the people you're hoping will support your brand. And if that's how you treat your customers before the sale, I can't even imagine what happens after. And honestly, I think we'll end it here. Because I could keep going, but at some point, it stops sounding like critique and starts sounding like bitterness. And that's not my vibe. This isn't about dragging creators for sport. It's about calling out a trend that's quietly bleeding trust out of this community. I gave these creators a chance. I reached out, asked them to explain, and they didn't. That tells me everything I need to know about the kind of businesses they're running. And personally, I'll never buy from them. I won't recommend them. And I sure as hell won't pretend they deserve our lindens. Because I've seen creators out here working their asses off, delivering actual value, quality, generosity. Creators who offer 110% without asking for one linden just to prove they're worth it. So nope. I'm not giving my support to a brand that walks in and says, "Look at my stuff. It's so great you have to pay to try it on." I say no. Firmly, loudly. And I hope others start saying it too. And here's one more thing while we're at it. Event hosts. You have standards, right? I mean, you've got selection criteria, exclusivity rules, aesthetic guidelines, all those mysterious checkboxes creators have to tick. Would it really be so outrageous to add one more? Like maybe, don't charge for demos with no refund. I've heard creators get rejected for the most curious reasons. So surely, demo policy could fit somewhere in the mix. Events already run the show. They set the rules, they choose who gets in, and business is business. But if you're going to benefit from the traffic, the very least you can do is look out for the people bringing it. Just one thing? Get this one thing right. Because shoppers aren't just wallets with avatars. They're the reason your event exists in the first place. Because let's be real, Linden Lab won't do anything. Not about this. So if we want to keep Second Life fair, if we want this platform to grow without turning into a digital cash grab circus, then it's on us. The shoppers, the so-called bloggers, the creators who care. And yes, the event organizers who hold the gate keys. We can't stop shady business overnight, but we can stop normalizing it. And for those creators who don't do this, who give us beautiful functional demos and fair pricing and actual respect, thank you. You're the reason we stay. And that's part 1 of what was supposed to be a 3-part series. But at this rate, we're heading straight into multi-season drama territory. Receipts keep sliding into my inbox. My red flag folder has chapters now. And thanks to a recent shoe saga, don't even ask yet, part 4 is already in the works. So, yeah, this might be endless. And honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm excited even. If there's a shady trend, a questionable practice, or some tea that needs spilling, you know where to find me. Slide into my IM, email me, leave a comment. If there's a topic you want me to tackle, chances are I already have opinions, strong ones, and now I want to hear from you. Have you been charged for a demo lately? Paid for the privilege of disappointment? Trusted a no-demo vendor and ended up looking like a glitchy backup dancer from 2008? Name names. We're building a hall of shame. Receipts, screenshots, dramatic reenactments, bring it all. And to the demo charging creators who might be lurking, if you've had a change of heart or just a change of business sense, feel free to let us know. We love a good redemption story, preferably with free demos included, bonus points if you offer cookies, or refunds. We'll be here, watching, judging. Politely, of course, with popcorn. That's it for today's Rant with Love. If you like this, hit the thing, do the thing, you know how this works. And if you didn't, I hope you accidentally pay 1 linden for a demo of a full perm cube with "Try Me" written in Comic Sans. This has been Pris, throwing red flags like Mardi Gras beads, fighting shady pixel crimes, one overpriced demo at a time. Stay sharp, stay loud, and for the love of Second Life, demand better before bad habits become the new normal.